Hello children. In this video lecture, I will explain you chapter of Beehive, chapter 8, Rich for the Top, part 1, Santosh Yadav. The chapter Rich for the Top is a story of two women who conquered the world despite obstacles and become the role model of youths. This part 1 is about Santosh Yadav, the only daughter after 5 sons. She is the only woman mountaineer who has been able to climb Mount Everest twice. She has been able to save one mountaineer's life by sharing her oxygen with him. Moreover, she is an environmentalist also, as she has collected and brought down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. Santosh Yadav, the only woman mountaineer in the world who has scaled Mount Everest twice. In recognition of her achievements, one of the top honors, the Padma Shri, was given to her. Let's start explanation of the chapter. Before you read, children, think for a while and make a list of 3 to 5 persons you idolize, means they are your idol or you admire them very much for their achievements. Your idols may be from any sphere of life, means they are from any field like sports, medicine, media, or art and culture. Make a list of it and what you liked about them. Just find that qualities. First paragraph. The only woman in the world who has scaled Mount Everest twice was born in a society where the birth of a son was regarded as a blessing and a daughter, though not considered a curse, was not generally welcome. When her mother was expecting Santosh, a traveling holy man giving her his blessing assumed that she wanted a son. But to everyone's surprise, the unborn child's grandmother, who was standing close by, told him that they did not want a son. The holy man was also surprised. Nevertheless, he gave the requested blessing, and as destiny would have it, the blessing seemed to work. Santosh was born the sixth child in a family with 5 sons, a sister to 5 brothers. She was born in the small village of Jaunia, was of Rewari district in Haryana. When this article was written, children, Santosh Yadav was the only woman in the world to have climbed the Mount Everest twice. She was born in such a society which was biased towards having a male child over a female child. Although they did not consider the birth of a girl child to be unfortunate, but it was not celebrated either. When Santosh was to be born, a saint, assuming that Santosh's mother wanted a son, so he blessed her that she would get a son. She would give birth to a male child. As she already had 5 sons, Santosh's grandmother said to the saint that they did not want a son. The saint was amazed to hear this and blessed her alternatively. Means he had blessed her that she would give birth to a girl child. The blessings turned into reality as Santosh was born. She was the youngest child, a sister to 5 brothers. Santosh was born in a village named Jaunia. It was situated in Rewari district in Haryana. The girl was given the name Santosh, which means contentment. But Santosh was not always content with her place in a traditional way of life. She began living life on her own terms from the start. Where other girls wore traditional Indian dresses, Santosh preferred shorts. Looking back, she says now, from the very beginning, I was quite determined that if I chose a correct and a rational path, the others around me had to change, not me. Although Santosh's name means contentment, it means satisfaction. She was dissatisfied with the traditional way of life. From a very young age, she started living life on her own terms. While other girls wore traditional Indian dresses like salwar kameez, she preferred wearing shorts. Santosh recollected that memories from her childhood that she was determined to live life according to what she felt was right for her. If she was right in her way, then others would have to change their way and not her. Santosh's parents were affluent landowners who could afford to send their child to the best schools, even to the country's capital, New Delhi, which was quite close by. But in line with the prevailing custom in the family, Santosh had to make to do with the local village school. So she decided to fight the system in her own quiet way when the right moment arrived, and the right moment came when she turned 16. At 16, most of the girls in her village used to get married. Santosh was also under pressure from her parents to do the same. Santosh's parents were wealthy. They owned land and they could even afford the money to send their children to study in schools in Delhi, which was near their village. Still, due to the prevailing customs, they decided to send Santosh to a school in the village. But Santosh decided that she had to take her own path when the right time came. At the age of 16, as most of the girls in her village were married off, she was also pressurized by her parents to do the same. A marriage, as early as that was the last thing on her mind, she threatened her parents that she would never marry if she did not get a proper education. She left home and got herself enrolled in a school in Delhi when her parents refused to pay for her education. She politely informed them of her plans to earn money by working part time to pay her school fees, and her parents then agreed to pay for her education. For Santosh, getting married was nowhere in the list. She wanted to get proper education from before getting married. Santosh left home and got admission in a school in Delhi. Her parents refused to fund her studies and she gently replied that she would herself fund her studies by working part time. It means they refused to pay her school fees, her further studies fees. So she gently replied her parents that she would earn money by working part time and she would herself educate herself. Upon seeing her determination, the parents softened their stand and they agreed to pay for her education. Wishing always to study a bit more and with her father slowly getting used to her urge for more education, Santosh passed the high school examinations and went to Jaipur. She joined Maharani College and got a room in Kasturba Hostel. Santosh remembers Kasturba hostel faced the Aravali hills. I used to watch villagers from my room going up the hill and suddenly vanishing after a while. One day I decided to check it out myself. I found nobody except a few mountaineers. I asked if I could join them. To my pleasant surprise, they answered in the affirmative and motivated me to take to climbing. Santosh wanted to be highly qualified and her father accepted her wish. After passing high school, she joined to Maharani College at Jaipur and stayed at the Kasturba hostel. The Aravali hills were near the hostel. Often she saw villagers climbing the hills and disappearing behind it. So she was curious to know what was beyond the hills, and one day she decided to find out. Santosh found a few mountaineers who allowed her to join them in their mountaineering journey. Then there was no looking back for this determined young girl. She saved money and enrolled in a course at Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. My college semester in Jaipur was to end in April, but it ended on the 19th of May, and I was supposed to be in Uttarkashi on the 21st. So I did not go back home. Instead, I headed straight for the training. I had to write a letter of apology to my father without whose permission I had got myself enrolled at Uttarkashi. Since then, Santosh progressed gradually to become an accomplished mountaineer. She saved money to get enrolled in a mountaineering course at the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering at Uttarkashi. As her college semesters and got delayed, and she did not have time to visit home before reporting at the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. So she went directly to the institute and wrote a letter of apology to her father because she had enrolled for the course without his permission. Thereafter, Santosh went on an expedition every year. Her climbing skills matured rapidly. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance to cold and the altitude. Equipped with an iron will, physical endurance, and an amazing mental toughness, she proved herself repeatedly. The culmination of her hard work and sincerity came in 1992. Just 4 years after she had shyly asked the Aravali mountaineers if she could join them. At barely 20 years of age, Santosh Yadav scaled Mount Everest, becoming the youngest woman in the world to achieve the feat. If her climbing skills, physical fitness, and mental strength impressed her seniors, her concern for others and desire to work together with them found her a special place in the hearts of fellow climbers. Santosh went on an expedition every year and improved her skills gradually. She developed immunity to cold weather and heights. Santosh had the qualities of physical strength, mental strength, and strong willpower. In 1992, 4 years after her first casual climb on the Aravali Hills, she climbed Mount Everest. She was 20 years of age. Santosh became the youngest woman in the world to climb the peak. Her seniors were impressed by her qualities of physical strength, mental strength, and strong willpower. Her companions on expedition found her to be concerned for others and willing to work as a team. During the 1992 Everest mission, Santosh Yadav provided special care to a climber who lay dying at the South Pole. She was unfortunately unsuccessful in saving him. However, she managed to save another climber Mohan Singh, who would not have met with the same fate and had she not shared her oxygen with him. During the 1992 expedition to Everest, she tried to save a fellow climber but was unsuccessful. She was successful in saving another fellow climber, Mohan Singh, who fell short of oxygen by sharing her oxygen with him. Within 12 months, Santosh found herself a member of an Indo Nepalese women's expedition that invited her to join them. She then scaled the Everest a second time, thus setting a record as the only woman to have scaled the Everest twice and securing for herself and India a unique place in the annals of mountaineering. In recognition of her achievements, the Indian government bestowed upon her one of the nation's top honors, the Padma Shri. Within the next year, she had joined a group of Indo Nepalese mountaineer women. Then she climbed the peak of the second time, becoming the only woman to have climbed the Everest twice. Santosh made India proud by getting her name recording in the historic records of mountaineering. The Indian government honored her achievement by giving her the Padma Shri award. Describing her feelings when she was literally on top of the world, Santosh has said, "It took some time for the enormity of the moment to sink in. Then I unfurled the Indian tricolor and held it aloft on the roof of the world. The feeling is indescribable. The Indian flag was flying on top of the world. It was truly a spiritual moment. I felt proud as an Indian." Also, a fervent environmentalist, Santosh collected and brought down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. Santosh recollects her feelings when she was literally at the top of the world. She took time to realize that she had achieved something big. She hoisted the Indian flag atop Mount Everest, on the highest point of the world. She cannot put the great feeling into words. She felt proud to be an Indian. As she believes in preserving the environment, she did her bit by bringing down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. Children, now here from this slide, I have given question answers, textual question answers, question 1 and 2 and all, including question answers. You need to write it down in neat and legible handwriting in your notebook and prepare well. Thank you.